Is it too late to buy Bitcoin in 2021? Does it feel like you missed the boat? Are you just staring at Bitcoin sailing off into the sunset? Is it too late to get into Bitcoin? You tell yourself, I could have got in at 3,000. Now it's 30,000. It's too late for me. I can't get in Bitcoin. It's too late. I wanted to make this video specifically for you and to help you navigate this situation because I don't think that is true. I don't think that's true. Let me elaborate. People who got in Bitcoin, early still have this dilemma, by the way. They still have this dilemma that the people that have no Bitcoin are facing. We're like, I could have got more. I could have got more. I got only this much, and I have some Bitcoin. I did well on it, but I could have gotten more. I had so much of this money sitting there, and I had it readily available to put it there. So you're not alone if you have no Bitcoin. There are people who even have Bitcoin that have that same thought process, at least, where they think, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. I want to get into the actual numbers here, and I want to share some really eye-opening things that was really a eureka moment for me. Before I get into that, I have to say I am not a financial advisor. None of my videos are meant to be taken as advice. It's just education based on my opinion. I have to say a disclaimer real quick. The way I look at Bitcoin here at 2021 is it is foolish to go all in on Bitcoin. And there are many people who are doing this, where they go, I'm all in on Bitcoin, period, nothing else, no fiat, no metals, nothing like that, only Bitcoin, period. I'm all in. They might get handsomely rewarded, and so far they have. I think that's foolish. And I know I'm going to have the Bitcoiners on my page because I have this very unique mixture, and I'm trying to be that one person that is not like Bitcoin or gold, and it's this war between the two things. It's not. It's not. Peter Schiff has done this, and it's like, why are you doing this? I want to be the one person that makes people realize how big this situation could be for all decentralized assets. And I'm gonna elaborate into some very, very interesting things that were just so eye-opening to me, and just made me go, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing now, and I know why I'm doing it now. To get back to that point, I don't think that this is Bitcoin or gold or Bitcoin or silver or just say precious metals or Bitcoin. I think it's both. And the reason for that is the market cap of gold is 10 trillion roughly, somewhere between like 8-10 trillion, give or take. The market cap of Bitcoin is about 550 billion here at 30,000 a coin in 2021. I think it's I'm making this video on January 4th, so it's either going to be uploaded on the 5th, or I think it'll be uploaded on the 5th. Bitcoin is around 550 billion on the market cap. Gold is at 10 trillion. And I used to think this way, and it was such a bad way to look at it, but I think, oh yeah, sure, Bitcoin's going to go to 10 trillion because if Bitcoin goes from 550 billion to 10 trillion, that's 500,000 a coin. That's what it needs to do to get to 500,000 a coin. To get to 1 million a coin, it has to go to 20 trillion. So on the surface, when you think of gold's market cap at 10 trillion and Bitcoin needs to match gold to get to 500K a Bitcoin, you go, I doubt it. I don't know. I don't think it could do that. Gold's been established. It's 10 trillion. That's really high. 550 billion. Sure, it's done well, but I don't think 10 trillion. It's not going to eat away at gold's market share to get it up there. Gold's not going to go down to 5 trillion to get Bitcoin to 10 trillion. When I realized the way I was looking at it, I looked at it like this for like about, I want to say a year ago, I used to look at it this way. And I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. I have been looking at this through the worst lens. I've been looking at it like this, and I finally had the moment where my eyes opened up and I went, wait a minute. Both of these assets are taking away from this giant monstrosity of a bubble of hundreds of trillions of dollars poofed into thin air called fiat currency. That was the moment, because it's, yeah, sure, gold's at 10 trillion, but it should be at 100 trillion because money should be back to it. Sure, it's at 10 trillion. But the thing you realize when Bitcoin is down at 550 billion, to get it to go to 10 trillion, when you realize that it's to take away a tiny little air pocket of all of this bubble of fiat currency to get it to that level, that's when you realize, wait a minute, this is not only possible, it's plausible. You know, it's likely that this could happen when you realize just how much of it is out there. I mean, just to put it in perspective, just in 2020, they printed around $10 trillion. Just in 1 year, they printed the market cap of gold in 1 year. What? And then that money went down into the commercial banks and got given out as loans, as I always talk about in all my videos about fractional reserve banking. The amount of money that's been poofed into the ecosystem just in the last year is enough to get gold to ridiculous levels, Bitcoin to ridiculous levels just in the last year. But when you think about this whole system from all of this compounding fiat currency we have over here on the right, it's like, okay, it's not Bitcoin versus gold. It's gold and Bitcoin and silver and platinum and real estate and tangible, anything tangible, all collectibles. That's where you want to be, because the money is coming out of the fiat currency and into these things. Now, with Bitcoin, it is so new that its market cap is only 550 billion. So I wanted to bring up that point on how big this fiat currency bubble really is and how much money is there for the taking for these assets. It's not this, that's what Peter Schiff has done. He's made it this battle. It's not this battle. It's not that. No, it's like, you know that line, it's your best friend could be your worst enemy. You know, like right now this thing is your enemy, but it really, you know, if you actually got to know your enemy, you'd go, actually, I kind of like you, you know, we're kind of similar, you and I, you know, and then eventually that can make a best friend. With Bitcoin, I think guys like Peter Schiff, I mean, he's obviously done well because of all the time, he's constantly bashing Bitcoin, but I think he owes Bitcoin a thank you. You know, I think precious metals bugs owe Bitcoin a thank you because, and let me elaborate, I know I got a lot of precious metals bugs. Keep in mind, I own Mineral Exchange. I'm a full-time precious metals trader, and I stack precious metals way, way more than any amount of Bitcoin. But if I don't tell it like it is, and I'm not honest on my channel, I don't know why I would be making videos. So I want to share how I really look at this situation versus just saying, you know, Bitcoin bad and precious metals good because I make money off precious metals. You know, because I happen to think that people who have done well on Bitcoin will buy precious metals. And I think people that do well in precious metals are going to buy some Bitcoin. Like, is that such a stretch of the imagination that they can both coexist and both be good things? Because right now, the problem is fiat currency. And if gold is this needle, and I always say it like this, there's a big bubble of fiat currency, and if gold is this needle headed towards fiat currency, well, Bitcoin is like, in this day and age, is like a javelin headed towards fiat currency. I think that's right. A javelin in the Olympics is like a javelin flying in, this huge, crazy spear flying into this bubble of fiat currency. It's way more of an effect than gold because it's digital. And this goes into another point about Bitcoin. The barrier of entry here in 2021 has dropped tremendously with Cash App. I mean, with PayPal, because you accept some money in your PayPal and you go, I have this extra money in PayPal. I sold this on eBay or whatever. I might as well convert it to Bitcoin. It's just a click of a button. Same thing with Cash App. I have some extra money in my Cash App. Might as well, get some Bitcoin with it. All right, click. The barrier of entry to get Bitcoin has dropped tremendously. While the information, because we're living in the information age, including this video that you're watching and all the other videos that have been there forever, is much, much higher. There's more information out there, obviously, because we are further along in 2021, and the barrier of entry continues to drop. You got the Gemini exchange, you got Coinbase, now you got Cash App, you got these payment processors that are easily converting fiat into Bitcoin. Barrier of entry dropped. information at all-time highs, hype at all-time highs, FOMO starting to kick in. What is that? Is that not a perfect storm? Meanwhile, the dollar index is dropping. Fiat is at all-time lofty levels. Stimulus packages have been dropped. Dollars are diluted more than ever before. And the barrier of entry to Bitcoin is dropped to the bare minimum, and the information is at maximums. So why is this something that the precious metals people should be thanking? Well, it's getting people passionate about this subject, about decentralized assets. It's why you're watching this video right now. It's why I'm so passionate about it, because I was that kid in college, in high school, that thought he was, not very intelligent, because I'd be staring off at a wall completely uninterested in the things that I was doing. It's like, I don't want to read this textbook from 1982. Like, there's nothing here for me. I felt like I was just completely lost. But when you got me passionate about something, I'll be in a warehouse at 1 o'clock in the morning talking about but the truth is I get very passionate, that's the truth as well. But the truth is I get very passionate when I am really into a subject, and it captivates me. And what Bitcoin is doing is these 16-year-olds that never would have talked about the gold standard, never would have known anything about fiat currency other than, the history classes and whatnot, and just went in one ear and out the other. But because of Bitcoin, the passion is there. And it is informing the youth, and it is informing the masses just how serious of a problem we have with fiat currency. And so that is a major benefit to precious metals. Precious metals, and especially industrial precious metals like platinum and silver, it's like when you realize the real value of these items due to the fiat currency bubble getting popped, it's going to skyrocket. Precious metals are going to skyrocket because of the help from Bitcoin popping this crazy bubble of fiat currency. See, I don't see them as enemies like Peter Schiff. I see them as friends. I see them as allies. And I would like to be one of the first precious metals, traders out there trust me, I got the whiplash, I have, scars to prove it, that I have gotten the precious metals guys, after me for talking about Bitcoin. But the thing is, I see it as a beautiful thing. I see people trading their metals for Bitcoin and Bitcoin for metals, and there being a beautiful way to coexist, And the main thing is because you have a 10 trillion cap on gold, you have a 550 billion cap on Bitcoin, and you have hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars of just poofed money out of thin air. And all of these things have to do is reach across, take a little bit of that air bubble, and all of a sudden they double, triple, quadruple, 10x, just by taking a little chunk of that air bubble of fiat currency over here. When you realize that Bitcoin is not taking market share away from gold, it is taking market share away from fiat currency. That is the eureka moment. I used to be so closed-minded. I was like, I had the blinders on, where I used to think that they were like in this battle, maybe because I was listening to Peter Schiff so much, and it's like, no, wait. Their market caps are so small when you compare them to the places they're looking to disrupt. It's like Tesla. In the beginning of Tesla, they were like, oh, this is never going to succeed. It's like, wait, it's the only electric car. Their product is better than their product, and that market is gigantic. And what did we see? I see Bitcoin in a similar light, where it's in this very unique time. It's almost like perfect, the timing of it right now, to help facilitate the masses to learn about how bad fiat currency is, how rough of a position these stimulus packages have put us in. The bill that the citizens really have to pay, how far the deficit has really gone along, all of the government, just spending money left and right. Now it's in the limelight, all of this stuff that is happening, and we have solutions. It's like hope. Bitcoin to me is like, it's like a hope. It's spreading this information at a bare minimum, and at a maximum, fixing it. And if it does fix it, if it does get to the same market cap of gold, which, by the way, when you think about them as competitors, you think of it as a long shot. But when you realize that they're allies, you realize, oh wait, this is very possible. this is not only possible, it's plausible. It's like almost likely. In my opinion, I'd say in my opinion, this is not for financial advice, but that was when I had the blinders on and I realized just how big this is. I mean, if I was going to make an analogy, I guess like, I don't know, this whole table's just filled to the top with popcorn. And in order for me to make my popcorn business successful over here, all I had to do was just reach over with my eyes shut and grab a bit of it. And you're like, well, your eyes are shut. I don't know if you're going to grab some of it. I don't know, but it's like, I'm going to grab some of it. Bring it over here. It sounds like a funny analogy, but the truth is, it's like you have this ridiculous bubble of fiat currency, and all you got to do is take a little bit of it. You got this huge pie. You just need a tiny slice of it to get Bitcoin to go to those levels, to get gold to go to those levels. And if Bitcoin does get to 10 trillion and gets to $500,000 a coin, or it gets to say 20 trillion and it gets to $1 million a coin, that doesn't mean that it's going to make gold drop. That doesn't mean it's going to make silver drop. As we just seen, Bitcoin just rallied from 20,000 to 34,000, has a little pullback here to 30, but it's like that rally there has inspired a rally in precious metals, it looks like. Seems interesting. Maybe, just maybe, they're friends. Friends that just don't know it yet, because one of their friends, namely by the name of Peter, who won't, as much as I call him out on Instagram and all that stuff, he still won't respond. I want to do a talk with him, but maybe he's waiting to take on Bitcoin guys, even though I'm both precious metals and Bitcoin. Maybe it's because I own a company, in precious metals that, I don't know. But I would love to talk with him at some point, because it's all love. Like I don't have any I think he's a great guy, and I think I'm a libertarian myself, so I have learned from him, and I take on a lot of his philosophies. But to make this like this enemy situation between Bitcoin and gold is completely wrong. You have to be thanking Bitcoin for exposing this to the masses and helping people learn about this. Gold wasn't on the front page of CNBC like this, like they are doing with Bitcoin. You didn't have billionaires going out and talking about gold. You have them now talking about Bitcoin. People that I'm inspired by Chamath Palihapitiya. I'm inspired by Michael Saylor. I love listening to these guys talk. I'll put them on my earphone. I got those wireless earphones, and I'll walk around and just listen to them talk for hours, because it's like somebody's. It's just like a symphony almost, listening to these very intelligent individuals speak, and they are advocates of Bitcoin, and they're getting this information out to the masses. And I can't help but to think I'm not alone in enjoying them talking about fiat currency due to Bitcoin. That is something that is going to benefit precious metals, in my personal opinion, not hurt it, and benefit it tremendously, because there is so much. There is so much. I'll repeat myself 100 times just to drive this home, how much fiat currency is out there to move into decentralized assets. And when it does, it's gonna spread like wildfire. It's going to really spread like wildfire. And overall, I don't think we've seen anything yet. I think we've seen nothing yet on what we could see with silver, what we could see with gold, and what this video is all about, what we could see with Bitcoin. I don't think we've seen nearly where it could go. Because if Bitcoin succeeds, we're talking about something that could become 50 trillion, 100 trillion. If it does replace how many trillions are out here. I know that's crazy. I mean, maybe a crazy long shot, because if it did get to, say, 50 trillion and it jumped gold up to, say, 100 trillion and it just displaced it and took all that fake money and brought it all into decentralized assets, you're talking about it would millions and millions of dollars of Bitcoin. Millions and millions of dollars of Bitcoin. And we wouldn't even be calling it dollars anymore. We'd be buying stuff in Satoshis at that point. That's like the full furthest away possible, if perfect case scenario, I guess, is if all of it went away and we were buying stuff in Satoshis. That would be like the perfect storm for Bitcoin. But realistically, in the near term, it could easily get to the same market cap of gold, which would make Bitcoin more than 10x, would go from 30,000 to 500,000. Very realistic. And on the surface, it doesn't look realistic, but when you realize just how big that bubble is over here, it becomes more realistic. So yeah, I hope I didn't repeat myself and be just too redundant in this. You know, if you did find some value in this video and in my videos in general, I really appreciate it when you, and I got that fancy pillow to even remind me to smash that like button, because it helps this video reach out to more people. If you're excited about Bitcoin reaching this out to the masses and getting this information out there, and you want to see this video do the same, hitting that like button really helps. Posting a comment down below on what your opinion would be awesome. I always love reading the comments, and so does everybody else, by the way. You can reply to each other, and it's great to have that discussion down below. Even if you're fully against Bitcoin and you think what I just said right now doesn't make any sense, say it in a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. And if you think I missed out on some stuff, or if you agree on the things that I'm saying, and you want to elaborate some more on that, please post a comment down below. I'm looking at every single comment. I do my best to reply to all of them. Sometimes I go back a few days later and I reply to all of them. But I really do appreciate it when you comment on the videos. So, and if you also, I have to say, if you would like to, you don't have to, but if you would like to, click the subscribe button down below. Somebody keeps telling me, "Oh, make the animation where it says a finger clicking the subscribe button." It's like, I don't really need to do that. I'm all right. People know where the subscribe button is. There's a red subscribe button. If you click it, you'll be notified of all. If you click the bell after clicking the subscribe button, you're notified of all future videos. But would really appreciate you being part of this channel. As I get more subscribers, as more likes hit the video, these videos do get promoted by the YouTube algorithm, and it really, really does help the channel. I hope this helps you navigate. And so to answer the question finally, I guess it took to the end of the video, but I think I answered it a bunch of times in the middle of the video. No, I don't think it is too late to get into Bitcoin. I think it's just beginning. And I think it's foolish to go all in. I think it's equally as foolish to have none. That's the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. The next video, I believe I'm going to be talking about how precious metals are starting to detach from the stock market. I wanted to wait, another day or two to see if this signal actually plays out, because as you know from that video I did on the endgame strategy for precious metals and for Bitcoin, I was looking for a detachment, and I got that on Monday. I really got that detachment where we saw precious metals jump and we saw the stock market go down. Now let's see if this keeps playing out. That's what I want to notice. Is this going to continue to play out? Are we going to continue to see the stock market go down, the dollar index go down, precious metals go up, and Bitcoin go up? Very interesting times. We're keeping our eye on it. If you're subscribed to this channel, I promise to continue to put content out there, and hopefully it helps you. See you at the next video. Signing out.